started so that we can do what we need to do. All right. So I do hope you guys can hear me. Yes, you can. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Good evening and welcome to week 3. So 2 weeks in, we now have a clean, validated data set ready for some serious work. So from tonight onwards, we'll stop cleaning and start analyzing, just simple analysis in Excel. Uh, Basically, week 3 is going to be about 3 things: advanced sorting, advanced filtering, and just VLOOKUP, right? So by the end of tonight and tomorrow, you'll be able to answer real business questions from these particular data sets. And then we'll see by the end of tomorrow, we'll now look for a data set we've not looked at, and then we'll explore and see what we can do rough in just a short time. All right, so when I say real business questions, analytical questions, what am I talking about? Let's just be specific in terms of this our particular data set. A question can come up like, which region generates the most revenue, right? Which region generates the most revenue? Which product? We can say, okay, which project here like this has the highest average transaction value? I do hope I'm sharing my screen. From here I can see I am. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. All right, so which sales we have sales rep as well. Which sales rep uh, closed the most transactions, right? Carried out the most transactions. So what is the supplier for each product we sell? Because I think we have a product. Do we have suppliers? I don't think so. I should have added supplier to this particular. I will look at into that. So these are some of the simple questions we are going to get answered, right? So I have my cleaned sales data opened. Let's get started. So we've seen basic sorting in week 1, I think. One column, one direction. So we are trying to see advanced sorting now. Tonight, let's just try to see if we can go a bit deeper. So because professional data sets are rarely sorted by just one column. It's not as if one column would decide what the data set will be ordered by, right? So you need to sort by multiple criteria simultaneously, not just one. And the order of these particular criteria I want to sort by, they matter a lot. Let's look at what I'm trying to say. Let's look at an example. Say I want to sort this particular data set by region so that we can have regions that, let's say for instance, those transactions from Kano should be together, those from Lagos and so on, right? But within each region, I also want to sort by revenue, highest to lowest, meaning I would like to sort by region and I would like to sort by the revenue, highest revenue for each of that region. So this is a two-level sort, which is multi-level sorting, right? Let's see how it works. Now I have this, my particular data set open, right? Then I'll go to data, right? And I'll go to sort, the data tab, then sort. Now the first condition you want is that you want it to be sorted by region, right? So region, you might have this already. You might have been you might have sorted your data set by region already. So you just keep this, you go to the next thing. So once you sort by region and say we want the orders to be alphabetical from A to Z, not from Z to A, right? So the next thing to do, since it's a multi-level sort and I said I want to sort by those with the highest revenue, I will now add a level to this my particular sort. And I say I would also like to sort by revenue. right? So the first thing after you add level, it means you've sorted by region, then by it's in level. It will first sort by region, then each region will now be sorted by what you choose here, revenue, right? We want to sort by revenue. What do we want? So we want the highest to come first, the highest revenue. So we change it from smallest to largest to smallest, right? So this is a two-level sort. Now, all right. So as you can see, we have two uh, levels here to our sort. The first one is by region, and then we have the cell values A to Z. Now, if revenue is seen as a numerical data type, you should be expecting, yeah, you should be expecting to see the order should be talking about smallest to largest or largest to smallest, unlike the text that is A to Z and so on and so forth, right? So if, all right, is anybody trying to say something? Okay, 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 no problem, no problem. Please, because I'm sharing the entire screen, I don't want to go back to the call. If you have any question, just draw my attention, no problem. Just carry on. So the tab you see, you find that sort is on the data tab. Home inside draw data, you find sort. So we are saying normally you might have sorting. You should sort your data in levels, not just by one particular column. So what we are trying to do is to see if we can sort by region so that we can have the regions together, and then we will now sort by revenue so that for each region we like to see those that bought the most things, like the highest revenue for each region from highest to the lowest. So the first stage is, of course, the first sort is you sort by region, which will be the first thing it will be sorted by. Now it will ask the order is from A to Z, alphabetical, right? So we want it to start from Abuja and so on and so forth. Uh, which one should come first? Abia, if Abia is there, it should start from Abia, but we want it to start from Abuja, right? So this is the first stage of the sort. You are not going to click on OK and come back again. You just go back at the top here. You should still be there in your dialog box. You now click on add level. So it will now say then by what? After it has sorted by region taking the first priority, then sort by revenue. This is the second stage. And then you now choose what's the order. Is it ascending or descending? If it is ascending, you leave it as smallest to largest. If it is descending, then we are talking about from largest to smallest, right? So this is what happened. This is what we did. Yeah. Yo, this is exactly what I was saying. So do you have a clean sheet of our original data set? You might have missed a stage, right? Mr. Steven, I don't know if you also have the same issue. Okay. You might have missed, okay, so you might have missed a stage. If you take a look at this particular clean data, clean sheet I'm looking at, if you look at, come here, let me see. Um, okay, what you do, right, is let's say yours should not be showing you that. Make your revenue go to home and then numbers. Choose the revenue column, right? Go to home and then numbers. On the drop down, just pick, I think we should make it currency, or should we make it accounting? Let's make it accounting so that it could just be in error. I wanted to leave this step till later on, but we can do that now because I wasn't expecting it to ask you to tell you that yeah, let's see. So please change the data type of your revenue column. Let's see if it works. I hope you know how to change it. Yes, just try. Don't worry, just try numbers. Choose numbers. You pick the column, you come to the column label I. You click on it so that you can select the column. That's the revenue column. So on the home tab, you have number, right? So click on the drop down where it says general. Click on the drop down and pick either accounting or currency. I think anyone should work. And try it. Let's see. Yes, go to sort. Let's see how what it's showing. Mr. Steve, how did you fix yours? Did this data before. I'm just doing it now. And I think okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought maybe it's because it's seeing this particular column as a text data type. That's why it's not working. Let me try this one. This is what I was expecting. You understand? You see now it's text. Does the column have this green triangle at the top there, please? By the end edge, the revenue column. Okay, okay. Yours has this too, and it was still showing you A to Z. Okay. Yeah. So I think that might also be a reason why you have that issue. You've done it. Okay. Can we just continue then? Mr. Steven. Okay. Maybe it was the network. All right. So let's now talk about, because that was supposed to be the next thing we're supposed to do, is the custom sort you were talking about, right? Standard sorting is alphabetical or numerical, but sometimes you need a custom order that doesn't follow the alphabetical order, right? What happened? For example, mute your mic. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm at it's not looking like mine. Mine, I just did it. Yes, I did it. I saw that once you sort it, let's go back to the sorting. Once you sort it by region and revenue, you just click on OK from largest to smallest. You click on OK. No, you don't have to highlight anything. Just click anywhere on your uh, sheet and then click on sort. 8 is, yeah, yeah, yes, that's all. You are there, right? Don't worry. Yours have? It's still Abuja and it's Abuja. My own is not Chukwuemeka. Okay. Don't worry. We'll do this. We'll look at it. Probably something happened to yours. But you've gotten the idea you sought. It's the reason why we don't have the same thing is probably some steps that we missed, or I was one that did not do it in mine, but I told you guys to do it or something like that. So yeah. So now we are trying to see the custom sort Steven was talking about. So like we said, Excel also allows custom. Maybe you have a custom list, right? Let's say uh you go to the sort, yeah, the sort, right? And then sort by region, we have the sort by region. We want to change this order of sort by region from A to Z to custom lists, right? This time you now, let's assume that you have you want to, sorry, we want to add a new list, meaning you want to decide how you want this thing to be sorted. It's not just alphabetical. Maybe your company, your organization has its own order based on a particular rule it has. And you know that if you leave it to Excel, Excel will sort the regions by what's it called? Alphabet, right? Starting with Abuja and the rest. So for whatever reason, say you'd like to sort it yourself and choose the state you want. Say you'd like to have Kano, Lagos, Abuja, which is supposed to be the first, will now be the last one, right? And then Port Harcourt, Kaduna, think Ibadan, Enugu, and Katsina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I think we have 8 states. So we basically you have a particular order you want the sheet to be sorted, the data set to be sorted by, not the normal sorting. So you now tell Excel. Now, mind you, those orders should be in your region column, right? Those entries should be in your region column. There should be entries that are in the region column. So you now tell Excel that okay, this is the order I want it to be by, not what you have. I want to sort by region, but by custom order of my own choosing. So you will now, once you list it, each entry per line, right? Don't forget this. Just make sure it's one entry per line. So once you have them in order, you now click on add. You now have Kano, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt by the side. You click on OK. And then you now have a custom sort. Once you have a custom sort, you click on OK, and then it will change it. I don't know whether it's clear or we should go over it again. Should I open the dialog box? Okay. So basically, that's what happened. You pick, this comes in handy a lot of times because apart from the normal rule of Excel and what will be considered the norm, you can have company rule. They will now tell you that, okay, this is the way they want their things ordered by. They might not have uh, let's say a validation in place that will force that is going to make Excel do it the way they want. So you have to be the one that will customize that particular data set. Now the data sorts in this are defined business priority, not alphabetically, right? We want it starting with Kano and then going to Lagos, going to Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kaduna, Ibadan, Enugu, Katsina. All right, so that's this is extremely useful in real work, extremely useful where business logic doesn't always follow alphabetical order, like I said. So a sales manager might want to see their most important regions first, regardless of the alphabet. It's not his business. Even if it is Zamfara, he wants to see it first. So it doesn't care about the alphabet. But let's undo this last sort. I'll undo it. I'll control Z it so that it goes back to our alphabetical sort. That's advanced sorting basically. It's very, very simple. You can explore and see how far you can take it. You can add another level to your sort and play around with it. So with that done, let's look at advanced filtering, right? We've seen advanced sorting. Let's look at advanced filtering. Now, let's in week one, I think we filtered by one condition at a time. But now let's do multiple conditions simultaneously. So in the data tab, they are right next to each other. We have filter, it's on already, right? So if I click on this filter, you see I would have turned it off. But I have my filter on already. That's why you're seeing these drop down arrows on each column. So let's say the first thing we have on our agenda is we are trying to filter by multiple values in one column, right? Let's put it in like this. Let's say I want to see transactions from Kano and Lagos only, not one at a time, both simultaneously. I know you know how to do this already. So how do you do this? You click on, it's like we even talked about this. You click on region and then you uncheck everything, right? Say you want to see transactions from Kano and Lagos. You now check only Kano and Lagos. Basically, that's what advanced filtering is. So all the transactions you'll be able to see now based on this filtering will be transactions from Kano and Lagos. The rest will be out of this sheet. So both Lagos and Kano transactions are now visible at the same time. So the row count at the bottom, I think will show you how many records are matched. This particular row count here. So you have 81 of 300 records found. So out of 300 of the records you have, only 81 entries are from Kano and Lagos. That's basically what it means. You would have thought it's going to be higher than that. Anyway. So only 81 entries are from Kano and Lagos. That's basically what the sorting does. For instance, it can also be, okay, I want to filter by multiple columns. What this particular one does, it should also hold the way they are. For instance, what you call this particular filtering we just did, that we filtered for Kano and Lagos, is filtering by multiple values in one column, right? So you might want to filter by multiple columns simultaneously as well. So after apart from choosing the particular regions you want, let's say we want to answer a specific business question like which transactions from Kano were paid by transfer and had more than 10 units sold. Let's take our data set back to the way it is. Now, the question is which transaction from Kano, right? Which transaction from Kano, for instance, were paid using transfer? Payment method is transfer. And let's say more than 10 units were sold. More than 10 units were sold. We have a unit sold in a particular columns, right? So more than 10 units were sold. So how do you go about this particular filtering? Of course, the first thing is to do is you need three. That means you need to filter by three different columns. The first thing to do is you are going to filter by region, right? And we are saying transactions from Kano only. Okay, we've done that. And then they say the payment method is transfer. So you click on transfer. You click on transfer and the drop down close to the payment method, and you choose transfer, right? And then the third thing is the unit sold should be more than 10, right? Now, this is where we have we are going to face an issue, right? They said if you look at the units sold, we can't just pick from a list because they said more than 10 units were sold. So we can't just pick, or there's no particular figure we can pick here. It's not as if you can use this thing and say, okay, you are going to unselect 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, right? And you would assume that all the rest you have are more than 10. Are you guys with me? All right. But that's not ideal. That's not the right way to do this. You can't just pick a number. So what you need to do is you need a number condition. What's a number condition? Once I click on this unit sold, I'll now go to number filters and I'll now say greater than, right? So this will now give you the chance to add a particular condition that is not met, like that you can't just select easily from the drop down. So we are looking for some transactions that are greater than 10. That's where you put it. Look at the dialog box. Please do this so that won't leave anybody behind. Are you guys here? Are you guys here? All right. Sorry, like I said, I can't see the emojis you guys send because I don't want to open that the call. All right. So once we pick, we don't need to add any condition here. We can just click on OK, right? So it's going to give us transactions where in Kano, right, that were paid with using transfer and more than 10 units were sold. More than 10 units were sold. So where can this come in handy? You might want to see your transactions, maybe since it's transfer, you would like to confirm some transactions and you want to focus on those that the amount is large, right? So you might just filter a data set to see the transactions that was made with transfer and confirm the amount you are expecting in your account balance, right? So this is the transaction history. So you can use this particular method to confirm these transactions. So now if you look at the results, only transactions that meet all three conditions are shown. The region is Kano, payment method is transfer, unit sold is more than 10. Now this is called targeted analysis, right? A manager could look at this and he would ask, are high volume transfer payments concentrated in Kano? Like we are trying to find out, is there a particular pattern to this particular using transfer to make payments, or is there an issue with the banks or something like that? So you'll be able to reach a conclusion with this. All right, so one more filter, powerful filter. Let's say we want to filter by date range. Say I want to see only transactions from the first quarter of 2024, for instance, right? First quarter is what? January, February, March. I would like to see transactions from the first quarter of 2025 of the whole, let's say the whole region, not just Kano. So let me select all. So now we want to filter by date. That's what this means. So click on the drop down. Okay, it seems did I not save? I might have not saved is it not as a date? Let me see what's happening. My date is not what's it called? My data is not recognized as a date. I think it's because of this particular. All right, so maybe you should take a look at yours. We should be seeing when you click on this drop down, I think you should see date filters, something like that. If it is, well, Mr. Steven, I think you're the one that has a date that is up to date, that has been filtered by date. I don't know, I might have messed with this particular one. I didn't get the chance to go through today's class, that's why. So, but you should be seeing, I think it is date filters and maybe between. So we are trying to see between, right? So so that we can choose a particular date from a particular date to another. That's what I was trying to see. But here it's saying text, so it's because I messed with no, this is not what I'm looking for. I would have to look into this date, but I because time is going, we have a lot of things to do. That's why I don't want to stay here and look at dates. But basically, you should have been seeing between. I don't know if any of you is seeing it or we messed with the date and things are not supposed to be. Let's go to the next one. All right, so let's look at the next filtering we have. Now, if you recall, in week one, we talked about sum ignoring filters, right? So it adds everything, even when rows are hidden. If you have hidden rows, it will still add it. So assuming you filtered by a particular region, right? So let's say we filtered, I'm seeing another filter here. Okay, I'm still seeing payment method. Let's make this the whole thing. So let's say you filtered by a particular region. If you use is equal to sum, it's going to sum up every single let's try it. Let's say we filter by we want to see Kano, right? And then we now say let's use this particular column and we said equal to sum I2 I2 I301, which is the whole revenue column. So what will happen is that it will ignore your filtering and it will sum every single thing in this data set, right? So it will ignore filtering, summing. When you are making calculations, you know, there are times where you have hidden rows, hidden columns. You can hide a particular row like this. I've just hidden this row, and you can hide a column as well. And you want to sum what you already have in your screen, just what you have on your screen. But what Excel will do if you use just sum is that it will sum everything. Now there's a way you can use a subtotal with sum with filters as well. Assuming we want to sum the revenue of Kano, made in Kano, just Kano, you will say is equal to, instead of sum, you are looking at subtotal, right? Now, once you click on subtotal, it will show you a menu where you choose an option of what you are trying to do, right? Because it shows aggregate and summations as well. Are you looking for the average count? I don't know whether you have subtotal there. count A, max. Oh yeah, it's 2016. It should be there. Minimum product, standard deviation, right? Sample and population, right? So what is this called? Is it variance or what is it called? Yeah. So average and the rest. But what we are trying to see here is we are trying to sum, right? And sum happens to be you see that there's a number attached to the side of it. Sum is number 9. So once you say it's equal to subtotal, open a bracket, you are going to tell it the number. It's just like press this number to get this. So you are going to tell it the number you are trying to do. So now for us, it's sum. So I'll click on 9, right? So once I click on 9, a comma, and then I'll now give it the range, all the revenue. I know I have to do this all over again, but let's just do it. So what will happen is that it's going to sum only the revenue of the Kano uh, entries, right? So it can be at the bottom here. Let's do it all over again. So I said it's equal to subtotal. You pick from the drop down, you pick the number of what you are trying to do. We are trying to sum, and then we give it the range I to what? I301, which is the revenue column, and to give us the total of the particular revenue. I wanted to do it here, so let me do it all over again. I2 I301. So this is what we have. Do you guys understand, or I left anyone behind? Any questions so far? All right. So what happens is that with this, using this subtotal instead of just directly using sum, will give you the chance to have a subtotal for the revenue anytime you change the region. Assuming, let's say, we added another region, Katsina. We should be seeing another subtotal here, right? It should add to a particular subtotal. Our subtotal is now 10 million. If you add another region, or let's add another region, the subtotal will be increased. So it will add up the revenues of that particular region. So instead of it insisting on having this, meanwhile, if it is only sum you used, you find that it won't care about. If you just give it to I2 to I301, this is not a filtered sum. It's going to give you everything. Even if you add or remove a revenue, a region, it doesn't concern this particular sum. So this is not what you are actually looking for. You are looking for subtotal. Now, when it comes to making sums with filters, you don't use the sum, you use subtotal. All right.